All right, so we are here in Ableton Live, as you can see. So the first thing I did was just drag that raw recording into this top lane here. And then I am using this Ableton utility to isolate out that left channel because my mix pre, and I believe most or all, but it exports polywaves and or just these stereo waves, even though I'm it's a mono microphone in that left channel. So I'm just selecting that left channel, which gives me then now a mono signal right down the center. And then I am using Isotope RX Spectral denoise just to kind of clean it up. Since we were outside, there was some wind noise, and there's a road by me, and there was some little bit of traffic sound. So just trying to clean it up as much as I can. Got a kind of a little snippet from the beginning here, and just use that as the reference. So yeah, clean that up, and then I just used a Ozone 11 EQ to clean up some of that low rumble, and then there was also a little bit of low mid that I did not like either. So super simple, not doing anything crazy. This is just trying to clean up and isolate the actual pneumatic piston sound, if you will. And then I then just went in and kind of chopped them up into little bits like this, and just kind of went around and chopped them all up into little hits. And then I exported that all out into just a folder for me to use later. So that then brings us to the processing, where we actually start to turn that into a magic spell. I should also mention that I think any sort of source material that has super dynamic moving and shifting harmonics or like resonances could work really well for this. I think jiggling your keys could work really well, or kind of doing it in a Doppler style, or if you jiggled them kind of like by the by the microphone. I don't know. You be creative, but I think material that naturally has a lot of resonant peaks and frequencies and harmonics is good. And then if those resonances also kind of move around and shift around, it's even better. But you could also do that in post as well as a first step with just some pitch and frequency shifters and comb filters, and you could do all kinds of crazy stuff. But I found that these pneumatic pistons were just perfect for that. So to jump right in, this is kind of the starting point. I am using Waves Curves Equator. It's pretty much a cheaper version of Soothe 2. They essentially both do the same thing. They are dynamic resonant suppressors. So they kind of analyze the audio signal looking for those sharp resonances, and they dynamically suppress them. However, this plugin, as well as Soothe 2, they have delta mode functions, which essentially allows you to solo and listen to only the resonance that it's getting rid of. So to show you, first, this is with it just normal. I'm not soloing the delta. Actually, let's turn that off. This is the piston sound. And then if I turn that on, you can see that the plugin is just trying to look for any harsh frequencies or resonances, and it's suppressing them and kind of turning them down. But in this plugin and Soothe 2, and if there's any other resonant suppressor plugins that do have this solo function, you could use those as well. But if I solo the plugin now, you will hear only the harsh resonant frequencies that it's removing. And that is the basis around this whole technique, I guess you could say. But I think, as you can hear, that already is like magical. If I turn this off, we'll go to this one. We'll do a before, which is just the piston, and then I'll activate the plugin just so you can immediately hear how quickly it becomes kind of like magic source material. So here's without it, and then with it. All right, and then I just added a little bit of saturation with the black box, just crunching it up a little bit. Then I am using, if it'll open up, fuse compressor, minimal audio, just trying to tame it a little bit. Then I am using another instance of EQ just to clean it all up. And then this is where the real magic happens, but I am using kilohertz snap heap. And essentially just doing a bunch of pitch shifting, ring mod, chorus, flanger, a really tight like slapback kind of style delay, and some reverb. And that gets us this. Then I'm just following that up with a little bit of compression just to kind of glue it all together. And then I am running another instance of the curves equator, this time doing what it's intended to do, which is to just try to tame some of those harsh resonances, because this is a pretty harsh sound. But yeah, we're running that, and then I'm just pushing it into a limiter, Pro L, which I'm not actually limiting at this point. It's just for gain and just in case anything does want to get a little loud and crazy. But that is essentially the basis to this technique. You can then go ahead and start messing around with like some Doppler effects. If I pull this up, you know, things like that. And I don't know, you could just view this technique as kind of like how to get magical source material. I mean, these are great on their own, but kind of doing some cool Doppler stuff and then further processing this and layering this, I think is kind of the move for sure. And then I also, if I come down to this one, was cool. I pitched them down by 3 octaves, just these recordings. Just pitched them down like that, you know. And it got an entirely different sound. Still, essentially, it's the same effects chain, but then we get stuff like this. And I just like chopped up little, you know, hits like this. So yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty simple method. I mean, it does require some sort of a resonant suppressor that has a delta function. Although potentially, I don't know, some sort of a dynamic EQ that has delta function might work as well. And then realistically, maybe you could potentially just slap an EQ and kind of isolate some of that upper stuff and, I don't know, accentuate some of those crazy harmonics. But yeah, that is it. Like I said, this is not like a tutorial on like how to make all magic sounds. Just a cool little thing that I stumbled across that I thought maybe would be, you know, cool and useful and fun for you to try out for your next magic sound design session. So yeah, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, if you could please like the video and maybe consider subscribing for any future content. So yeah, thanks guys. Bye.